Let's make these crispy chickpea pita wraps. It's kind of like a vegetarian version of a gyro. Really simple, so delicious. We're gonna start out by drying a can of chickpeas and then putting them into a skillet with some oil, salt, pepper, and spices, and then cook them for about 10 minutes until they're super crispy. You can do that part in the oven or in the air fryer. Then all you do is just load up your pita. I use some tzatziki, vegetables, the crispy chickpeas, just so good. I don't know about you, but one of the things that I miss the most is going to get fresh made sushi. So I figured I'd make it at home, and why not make it vegetarian? So I'm crisping up some tofu in a pan, and I'm gonna add this simple sauce. It's soy sauce, some spices, and cornstarch. Once the tofu is nice and crispy, I'm gonna add the sauce over and wait until it thickens and gets sticky. To some sushi rice, I'm adding vinegar. I'm gonna mix it all together and then add it to a sheet of nori in a nice even layer. Then I'm gonna add some cucumber, the tofu, carrots, and a little bit of avocado. Then I'm gonna roll it all up until it's nice and tight and slice it. I was pleasantly surprised how delicious this was. That sauce really makes it. And while I still really can't wait to leave the house, this makes everything a little bit better.
You're gonna need these stuffed potato balls for the fall because they're the ultimate comfort food. They're also known as rellenos de papa, and my mom used to make them all the time, and in honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month, I'm gonna show you how I make them with a plant-based twist. First, make your spice mix, then dice 2 carrots and a quarter of a yellow onion, and you can saute that with some garlic and olive oil. Now, what we're making is picadillo, and usually it's made with red meat, but we're gonna use lentils instead. I love lentils because they kind of have like a meaty texture to them. You're also gonna add tomato paste, sofrito, which is optional but highly recommended, and then the spice mix with some cilantro and water. Now moving on to the potato mixture, you're gonna take some boiled potatoes, add some yogurt, garlic powder, salt, pepper, milk, and cornstarch so that it makes it bind a little better. Now for some tips for forming the balls, always use wet hands so the potato mixture isn't too sticky. Then you can go ahead and roll it in some panko breadcrumbs for ultimate crispiness. Now we're gonna fry them in a high smoke point neutral oil. I used avocado oil, or you can bake them. Plate them, serve with some avocado crema, and dive in.
Vegan birria tacos. Yes, I said vegan. Screenshot for flavors. If you can't keep up, there's a full detailed tutorial on my Instagram. Right, so for the meat, we're using jackfruit and king oyster mushrooms. You want to shred your mushrooms so they look like this. That's going to give us that meaty texture. Then you want to break up your jackfruit and combine the two together and give it a mix. Now we're going to heavily season this and allow it to sit for an hour to dry out the moisture. You want to remove the stem and seeds of your chilies. Then you want to toast them and add them to half your vegetable stock. If you check out my detailed tutorial on Instagram, you'll see how I toasted these. Then for 5 minutes on a high heat, you're going to brown off your onions and tomatoes. Then you want to add your remaining garlic, herbs and spices and cook for 5 more minutes. Now you're going to add this to your pot with a carrot and allow it to cook for 1 hour. It should be looking like this. Now we're going to blend it. Then we're going to also add salt, cumin, apple cider vinegar and oil. We want to ensure we get them flavors. Then you want to sieve this mixture into a pot. I can't fit this all in one, so like for part 2. Psych! You guys know me, I'm not a pagan. Part 2 is on my profile now.
Okay, but stop scrolling and listen to this. Ah, the sound of crispy tofu. Here's how to make a tofu katsu rice bowl. First, drain your medium firm tofu, pat dry, and then cut into 4s. About 1 centimeter thick is good. Then for the marinade, you're gonna add dashi, ponzu, mirin, and some soy sauce. Marinate for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes per side, and then let's work on the dredge. You're gonna add some garlic powder and salt to some flour, stir it all up. In a separate bowl, crack an egg, whisk, and then in one more bowl, pour in all your panko. Okay, so coating time. Start with the flour, then the egg, and then panko. Make sure all the sides are coated nicely. Then in a shallow pan, just fry it up, probably about a couple minutes per side. Put it on a kitchen towel to soak up the oil. Time to assemble the rice bowl. You can really use whatever you like. These are just some of my favorites. Tofu katsu has changed my life. It's so good.
Do you love Alfredo but hate the calories? Here's a cauliflower-based sauce with roasted garlic. We're going to boil our cauliflower until fork tender, transfer and blend with a bit of stock, milk, butter, garlic, and spices until smooth. You'll want this type of consistency. Saute veggies of choice. I'm using mushroom and kale. Add your sauce, spaghetti, a bit of pasta water, and serve.
Doesn't that head look gorgeous? Let's roast some cauliflower. Start by trimming the cauliflower leaves and stem and then placing it into a pot with just a little bit of boiling water. Then cover and let steam for 8 minutes, remove and let dry. While your head dries out, mix together your tahini, salt, olive oil, fresh lemon juice, honey, parsley, and za'atar. Take half the dressing and lay it on thick. Okay, now listen up. Next, I want you to gently make tiny little pockets and insert dried dates. Do this around the entire head. Then you're gonna roast for a bit, broil for a bit, covering for any hot spots till it looks like this. Then top with that gorgeous creamy tahini, parsley, toasted pine nuts. It's super healthy and so satisfying.
Let me show you how to make an adult grilled cheese. This one is broccoli and Havarti. So good. Steam some broccoli florets in the microwave for about 2 minutes, then chop them really fine. Saute some chopped garlic in a little oil, then add the broccoli. Add some salt and pecorino romano, then give that a good stir. Add a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes. Grate some light Havarti cheese, then spray the bread with oil on one side, and then put it in the skillet, oil side down. Put half of the cheese on the bread, then divide the garlicky broccoli on each slice. Top it with the remaining cheese, then the remaining bread, then toast it up. Enjoy.
I can't wait to show you guys my favorite healthy snack. It's this smashed chickpea salad and it's ready in 15 minutes. You can adapt it to your liking and change up the recipe however you want. Serve on crackers, some toasted bread. It's so good, I honestly forget that it's healthy. Enjoy!
Tofu is boring? I know so many people who believe that, but that's totally wrong. Let me show you how to make it. First you gotta bake your tofu, because that will give it a great texture. Then we make a lovely sauce with loads of garlic, chili and scallions. Add to a jar soy sauce, maple syrup, white wine vinegar, some chili flakes and cornstarch. Stir and add the mixture to your pan. Once the mixture has thickened, add half a cup of water and also your tofu. Coat the tofu in the sauce and serve it up. I served mine with more scallions, sesame seeds and also some fresh chilies. Enjoy! You have to make these lazy noodles. They are literally made in 15 minutes with some water, soy sauce, cornstarch, maple syrup, vinegar, tahini, chili flakes. Blend it all up in a blender or whisk it up in a bowl. Then transfer the mixture into a pan, add the noodles, stir and heat it up until the sauce thickens. Then serve with some fresh herbs or sesame seeds, whatever you like, and there you go. They're so good.
These vegan summer rolls are next level. Soak a rice paper wrapper in water for 15 seconds, then add your fillings. I'm using avocado, cucumber, cabbage, carrots, peppers, cilantro, crispy tofu, and fresh baby spinach. Fold the wrapper over on each side, then roll that baby up. Sprinkle on some sesame seeds, then dip in this addicting peanut sauce. You are going to be obsessed with this. Yum! Cooking 20-minute dinner for 21 days. 1.5 cups of these little potatoes. Cut the potato in half. Mince up 4 cloves of garlic. 1 cup of water. Soy sauce. Honey. Mix together and set it aside.
Fry the potato for 3 to 4 minutes.
Add in the minced garlic.
Saute together for 1 to 2 minutes.
Bring your sauce mixture.
Every piece of potato is soaked in the sauce. After 7 to 8 minutes, you can see that the potato is now soft, and then the sauce is turning now into a nice glaze.
1 tablespoon of sesame seeds.
Mix together. Look at that.
I make Korean spicy rice cake skewers. Pack of rice cakes.
Blanch the rice cakes for 2 minutes. Drain and rinse with cold water.
Add around 7 to 8 rice cakes on each skewers.
Pan fry for 2 to 3 minutes on each side.
Add in Korean chili paste, honey, and soy sauce.
Mix together and let it cook for 1 to 2 minutes.
Coat the rice cakes in chili sauce.
Now look at that.
Buttered chicken, but vegan. Take the pressed tofu and tear it into chunks. Add your olive oil and your cornstarch.
Add the tofu to a lined baking sheet.
Now bake your tofu. Let's make the creamy sauce now. Add your vegan butter, add your onions, saute your onions for 3 to 4 minutes. Add your garlic and ginger, curry powder, garam masala, paprika, coriander, pinch of salt, tomato paste, whole fat coconut milk.
And simmer for 10 minutes.
Add your baked tofu
And stir it.
You're gonna wanna try this.
First of all, I did not know you could make pretzels at home. Second of all, I did not know they were vegan. This recipe calls for 1.5 cups of lukewarm water with a packet of instant dry yeast and a tablespoon of sugar. Let that get frothy, then add in 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 cups of flour. Mix it up and add in another 2 cups of flour. Someone said you could use a hand mixer. That was a lie. I don't like that person. After the dough is mixed, you're going to knead it out on a floured surface and let it rise for 10 minutes. And then you're going to knead it a couple more times and just cut it in half and roll it into these little logs where you can cut 1-inch pieces. And now we're going to put them into a bath of hot water and half a cup of baking soda for about 30 seconds. Take them out, brush them in olive oil, sprinkle on some coarse salt, and cook them at 425 for 13 minutes. And baby, I'm a little German chef now. Look at me go.
Here's some breakfast for your skincare routine. Last month on Beauty Bar, Joan asked Stephanie,
do you eat certain foods to help your skin?
When I'm hungry, I don't
snack on like empty calories, I guess, I will cut up like a bell pepper and just eat a raw bell pepper. I really like that.
Say no more, Stephanie. I have just the perfect breakfast for you. Bell peppers are so good for your skin because of the beta carotene in it, but also even better for you when it's cooked because the heat and the little bit of oil will make beta carotene easier for your body to absorb. And once absorbed, your body converts it into vitamin A, also known as the world-famous retinol. So putting it on your skin is one way, but also eating this breakfast and letting your body make retinol is another way. Top it with some grated Parmesan parsley and enjoy! Happy skincare!
Okay, I'm finally sharing my shreddable vegan chicken with you. It's definitely more than 2 ingredients, but I think you're gonna find it's totally worth the effort. First, we're gonna start with the liquid portion of our dough. Tofu and chickpeas are gonna kind of give it more of like a bite and chew than just wheat gluten alone. We're gonna blend this until it's a nice, smooth, pourable consistency. Next, we're gonna add our dry ingredients and the olive oil that we forgot about, and you can mix this with the wooden spoon or with your mixer until it looks like this, and then you can knead it with your mixer or by hand until it looks like this. Let it rest for about 30 minutes and then cut it into more manageable pieces. And then here's my secret. You are going to stretch this out and roll it like the tightest cinnamon rolls you have ever rolled in your life. This technique is going to give us those shreddy layers that we're looking for. Tie these in a nice little knot and then simmer them, don't boil them, for about an hour in some veggie broth. Take them out, refrigerate them overnight, and then the next day shred them up and use them however you'd like.
French vegetarian recipes. Today I'm going to show you how to make pion. Pion comes from Provence, which is in the south of France, and it's a very old dish.
Here are all the ingredients you'll need. Chop that garlic fine. Then you put it at the bottom of the pan. Then you're going to be slicing your zucchinis, courgettes, your eggplants, which are aubergine, and your tomatoes, which are tomates. You want to make sure to slice them fine enough so that all of them can cook through. Once you're done slicing all of these, you'll get some fresh thyme to add as well, and then you alternate them in your dish. What I like doing is keeping the tomatoes next to the eggplant so that they can stay moist. And then you put some salt, then you put some pepper, finish it off with the thyme, and a drizzle of olive oil. Et voilà, bon appétit!
Okay, so if you're wondering what to have for lunch, you have to make these halloumi and chickpea flatbreads. They're so good. So to start off with, I drained some chickpeas and tossed them in some spices. I'll write in the comments what I used. And then I chopped up a shallot and I did a quick pickle of it. And again, I'll write in the comments how I did it. And then I made a flatbread by putting some flour, yogurt, olive oil and a bit of water. And I mixed it all together into a dough. And then I put them into the flatbreads, just rolled them out. And then I chopped up some red cabbage. And then I made a yogurt dressing with yogurt, lemon juice, garlic, mint, thyme, pomegranate molasses, salt and pepper. And I put some halloumi on and I constructed it all up. And oh my god, to say it was good is just the world's biggest understatement. Insane.
Today I'm going to show you guys how to make my best friend's go-to dip recipe. Everyone always falls in love with it, and I kid you not, it's addicting. You're going to start off with a can of black beans and a can of white sweet corn. Make sure it's white. Add in 1/4 of an onion and 1 avocado. Add all that to a bowl and top it off with some cilantro, and now time for the seasoning. You're going to start off with some salt, extra virgin olive oil. I mean, it doesn't have to be extra virgin. And then add in some balsamic vinegar, of course. Start off with a little and go in with more if needed, but this really makes the dish. Add in your lime. I'm using half of a lime. Add more if you want it more zesty, your preference again. And then just go in with some black pepper and voila. Mix it all up, and I kid you not, it's so freaking, oh my god, my chip. It's so good.